Hey, it's Yolanda Cox-Bey with Parks Compass, and I am doing my car series, riding in the car with Yolanda, talking about all things real estate. And so this will be episode 3, and I am here with the lovely, very knowledgeable George Rowe. And you are?
I'm George Rowe. I'm the managing broker for Compass's Midtown Nashville office and the sales manager for this office.
Yes, and I got to know him very well, and I thought how appropriate to meet with him in my
honored that you'd have me on your show.
Yes, my little car show.
Your car show. I love it.
So it's my summer car rides series, and we
vroom,
are
vroom.
But we're not driving.
We're not
because
driving.
We want to be safe.
Safety first.
All right. So today, George, let's talk about the inventory.
Okay.
So when we talk about the inventory, we have to distinguish what is a buyer's market, a neutral market, and a seller's market. So what do you say is the seller's market?
Yeah, the seller's market is typically less than 4 months of supply of inventory. A buyer's market is when there's 6 months or more, and a balanced market is when they're anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
For Nashville, I'll tell you, it's a little bit tricky because it's been a steep seller's market all through the pandemic.
Yeah.
So now there's a lot more inventory, and it might feel initially like it's no longer a seller's market, but in fact it is. We've both looked at stats for this past month, and there's still only 3 months the supply for most zip codes. There was one that was even one part of East Nashville that was less than 3. It was 2 months. And so it's technically still a seller's market. It feels more balanced that those of us who have been in real estate selling for the last several years feels more balanced, but it's still technically a seller's market.
Yes, because days on the market is showing for greater Nashville stats for May. It's showing that days on the market are 44 days. And we're showing that for 2019 the number of units or homes that were listed was 5,500 or basically 5,600. This year, 6,400. So that's up.
So more inventory.
Yes, and then for closings, we've had in 2019 about roughly 15,000, and so kind of slow to close on some of them, about 12,279. But still, like you said, I feel as though it is a seller's market. So what do you think that's affecting that low inventory, George?
Well, there's it really depends on the price range, the part of town, people who are impacted by interest rates. You know, cash buyers aren't as impacted by what's going on right now as people who are getting loans. But I think people are finally starting to move off the sidelines. I think buyers were shocked because everybody was used to 2-3% for the last several years.
Trying to stimulate the economy
and
after
now
COVID.
It's 6 and 7%.
Which isn't bad, right?
It's not bad. My parents tell me about how they paid, they were 15% when they bought their house, years ago.
My first condo here, I believe it was like 8%.
Yeah,
so I don't know if we'll see those numbers again. A lot of people have been waiting for that interest rate to go down, but if that interest rate goes down, then the sales price is going to go up, and you're going to end up paying just the same or more for that same house if you were to look at that.
I think buyers are getting used to the 6s and 7s where we are, and so they know that 2s and 3s aren't going to be back for a while, if ever. And I think they're also realizing that it's actually better to get in at 6 or 7%, and then when it does drop, refinance. And that's going to be better than waiting for interest rates to drop to, we'll call it 5%, and then it's going to be bidding wars, and then you end up paying $200,000-$400,000 over asking price. And so I think you're actually better off buying now with these interest rates and then just refinancing whenever it does go down.
Exactly, because just like you said, depending on zip code, you still do have some multiple offers, but at the same time, you get an opportunity to think about your purchase, do your due diligence, and not feel rushed, and like you said, overpay for that.
Yeah, and I'm actually seeing multiple offers more and more now. It's starting to feel a bit more like a pandemic climate.
Not as bad, right? Hopefully.
Well, we
got first-time home buyers that are trying to enter the market, and we have the millennials that are trying to enter the market. So hopefully not as bad.
Yeah, I think it's not as bad for your average person, but for the cash buyers,
yes, absolutely.
I'm seeing multiple offers on million dollar homes that are going for. I'm involved in one right now where it's up to almost over $1 million over asking price with multiple cash offers on it.
Okay, and then we get into the risk of that with appraising, unless they are willing
cash
to pay.
Though, so,
unless they're willing to pay that difference. Well, you're right, but at the same time, we don't want them to be upside down. Paying more than what it's worth. But
right. And there's still a lot of what I call coastal cash that's coming in
from
that's driving up those prices.
Florida, absolutely.
New York.
Exactly. So the baby boomers, the last thing that we'll talk about for the inventory is the baby boomers are, they're locked in. If they purchased a house in like 85, they probably paid $72,000 for it. They've raised their families, their kids live in another state, and they don't have anywhere, or they don't want to purchase, so they're going to age in place. It's a term that I've heard. So what do you think about that with affecting the industry?
Well, they're also aging in place of their interest rate of 2 or 3%, and they don't want to give that up. And so
absolutely.
So a lot of them are just parked.
Yeah, because rates right now about like 6.85. I think I saw today.
They might be 2 or 3 times as much as what they were when they bought. So they're wedded to that interest rate, and they don't want to divorce that interest rate.
So what do we say to motivate those that are looking?
Well, I think it's a good time to buy because there is more inventory now. You've got negotiating power. You don't have to pay that full asking price. You can ask for concessions on repairs or credits, and again, you can refinance when the interest rate goes down sometime in September or whenever the Feds are going to reduce it.
Well, wasn't this fun?
It was fun.
All right, so now let's get to some more fun. So your favorite things. So he has a lovely transitional career from
music,
law to music,
to music to real estate.
Yeah. So what is on your playlist?
Ooh, what's on my playlist? Let me tell you right now. I'm a big Shazam fan, and so I got
Shazams.
There's an artist here in Nashville, Daisha McBride.
Okay.
I just learned of her. She's really good. I just saw Emily King at the Grand Ole Opry. She was opening for Jake Collier, who's a great musician.
Okay. Play us one of your one that's in heavy rotation.
Yeah, it's Daisha. Hold on, let me pull that up.
Okay, George. Hey. I love it. Birds by Daisha McBride. So we gotta check her out, okay? Oops. Yeah, you got it. It's just
and I think she's a Nashville artist too. Okay. So do check her out.
Yeah,
support
check her out, Daisha.
Yeah. Daisha. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Daisha
All right.
McBride.
Well, thank you so much. It's
My
Yolanda
pleasure.
Cox-Bey with the Movie You Home team with Parks and Now Compass.
Yay.
And this is George.
George Rowe with Compass.
George, thank you so much
pleasure.
for
Good
hanging
to be
out with
you.
me.
Thanks for inviting me on your show.
All right, y'all take care.
Peace out, y'all.
Call us if you need to buy a home. Let us help you find your place.
Bye.
Bye-bye.